morning, everyone. Raymond Mhor here, Kittle Prepper. How's everybody doing? And it is Coffee with Ray. And like I said, I've been trying to do these every day at 9 a.m. Eastern, and almost missed it today because I've been downstairs writing an article, and it's interesting. I've been doing some research, and we now have 122 countries that are actively de-dollarizing and basically dropping U.S. debt and getting out of the dollar. Hey, Lori, how you doing? But today, what I wanted to talk to you about, who do we got here? Sherry, how you doing? Though, is that another trucking company has now filed for bankruptcy. And so last week we learned that Yellow was in trouble. And in fact, on Friday, Yellow fired all their non-union workers. And then on Sunday, they just threw in the towel and said, screw it. We're now firing everybody. And they fired all their union workers too and completely closed up shop. That means 45,000 trucks are now not delivering goods. And so we're seeing this take place, and it's going to severely affect the supply chains. Usually if one trucking company, we're looking at about a 45 to 60 day, lag. But with Surge now filing bankruptcy, and it's going to start affecting things even quicker. So probably start looking at a 30 to 45 day supply chain issue. And supply chain issue being that goods are not going to be putting on the shelves. That means groceries, that means stuff at Walmart, that means all this other stuff. So not only that's going to affect us, but I think that it's going to severely affect also the food supply chain. So I want to really get it out to you guys that you guys need to start stocking up. Hey, Kim, how you doing? Good morning. Yellow's bailed out and a couple years ago, and the chief officer of Millions of Lows. Yep. And so all these companies, these two trucking companies are going to severely affect the supply chain issue, and we're going to start seeing empty shelves, and it's going to get ugly. And I think that with food and everything, it's going to severely affect grocery stores as well. Now, a lot of grocery stores do have their own trucking, trucks and everything like that. But I think that a lot of other trucks are also going to, affect the food supply chain as well. So these are two things that we need to keep an eye on. And I would highly recommend that you guys start stocking up on whatever it is that you wanted to get at your local stores or something, because they may not be there. And then once that shelf is bare, it may take some time before that shelf gets restocked. So it's gonna, I think this is gonna severely affect, a lot of people. And when the masses start waking up to this issue, and it's interesting, they already have. And we're seeing this actually in the food arena. As I reported last week, hey Terry, how you doing? I reported last week when India suddenly stopped all export of rice except basmati, that start watching for rice prices to go up, and sooner or later we're probably going to be hitting that $50 a bag for that 50-pound bag. Well, I'm already seeing reports, I'm already seeing articles and everything of, like, especially Costco, Sam's, and other of these big box, stores with rice disappearing. And the only thing that they're seeing maybe is a bag or two of basmati or just common white rice on the shelf. And so we're already seeing this take place, and rice is disappearing. But again, rice is now starting to hit $50 for a 50-pound bag. And, I hate to say I told you so, but yeah, that's what happens, So, we're normally, and that's what I wanted to say too, is normally rice is about $27 for a 50-pound bag. Now, the positive thing is that our nation is a rice producing nation, especially out of California. And we grow long grain white. And so that is going to be, we're going to still have rice. But with these two trucking companies going out of business, I bet that we're going to see even more shortages. Now, another interesting thing is, and I think I reported on this last week also, is that we're starting to see a decline in flour showing up on the grocery store shelves. And I'd be really interested, what are you seeing out there? I mean, are you seeing rice disappear on your shelves? Are you seeing flour disappear on your shelves and everything? And what we're kind of seeing, and this is not really the prepper arena, but just normal, just kind of like normal, the 80%, 90% of people out there who are not preppers. But when they start having shortages, people start buying other stuff. Now, I'm also getting reports that ramen, frozen OJ, as well as bottled OJ, and then dry beans and canned beans are now starting to show, vacancies on the store shelves as well. Because if people don't have rice to buy, then they're going to start looking for other staples to purchase and everything. And so I noticed that in my Kroger's, the ramen area has been kind of bare for some time now, probably for the last 30 days. It hasn't been fully stocked or anything. It's just been, pretty decimated. And so I am definitely seeing the ramen issue. I am definitely seeing the flour issue as well, because again, checking out my local Kroger's, flour was pretty bare as well. And so now I haven't checked out OJ. I'm going to probably go grocery shopping today, and if I do, what I am going to do is keep an eye and look around and see what shortages I'm seeing. But frozen OJ and bottled OJ are becoming, slim. And then I'm going to check out the bean section and see what we're looking like there. I have been on the bean section before, and I have been seeing like dry beans. Dry beans are not as stocked as it usually is. Yeah, there's bags of beans and everything like that, but it's not as, as stocked as it was, say, 3 4 months ago. So these things, as people are not able to get one thing, they're transitioning over to other stuff. And again, this is just the common person who is starting to take notice a little bit that, stuff is disappearing off the shelves. And so we're starting to slowly see a tailspin take place. And as things disappear, more people are going to be buying other things. I mean, we kind of saw this within the toilet paper issue. Toilet paper was disappearing, so we started seeing paper towels disappear. We started seeing other items disappear as well, baby wipes and everything. So it's kind of a trickle down effect or a tailspin effect, and the repercussions of the original item. Flour, sugar, okay here. For beans, rice getting sparse, is going to get worse. Thanks for the info there, Kim. But we're going to start seeing these things because people are going to start replacing what they can't get, and that just adds more to the supply chain issue because they're not able to restock the shelves. And with Surge Transportation, which is out of Florida, and now Yellow going completely out of business, then sugar, okay, in Iowa, thank you. um, we're going to be seeing more and more things, be off the shelves more. So probably the biggest advice I would give is, if you see something that you like or want, or your family needs, or it's something your family uses or something, you may want to pick up one or two, if not three, of those items so that you have them in your pantry and in your preps. Because again, with this second company going bankrupt, which means, they're probably going to go belly up probably by the end of this week, then if they don't fix whatever it is that they need to fix. I don't know much about Surge Transportation. I haven't been doing any research about it. I just saw a news headline come up today, and so I don't have that much information on them. Here, hold on one second. Gotta have coffee. But with these two trucking companies, and especially Surge is in Florida, and I forget where Yellow is headquartered. But with these two trucking companies being out of business or going out of business, then the shelves are going to get more and more bare. So again, what you want to do is if there's something that you see on the shelves that you use, you need, or you want, you might get them now. And as we move closer and closer also to bricks, and again, I was writing an article. That's why I was kind of, personally, I was late getting ready and things because I was working on an article, and I just learned that Bolivia has just joined the slew of countries. We now have 122 countries that are now de-dollarizing, and that means that they're either using their own currency to purchase, goods and services and products, or they are using the yuan. And we're starting to see an escalation of yuan usage versus dollar usage. And so the yuan is becoming the currency of choice where people are moving to, or countries are moving to buy, buy the oil and buy these, raw materials and buy these foodstuffs and so forth and so on. And when we get closer to the BRICS, and if the BRICS do create that currency, which most likely they will, then everybody's going to be jumping on the brick, because the brick is going to be gold backed. It is going to also be backed by rare earth metals. They're also going to be backed. They're now talking about using food items. So, grains such as wheat, rice, corn, so forth, heavy staples, and then also a basket of currencies. So the brick is going to be a tangible asset, and because it has something backing it versus the dollar, which only has debt backing it and IOUs backing it and stuff like that. And so, I mean, personally, would you want to take an IOU, or would you rather take something that is actually backed by a tangible asset? And so now we're sitting at 122 countries that are now actively de-dollarizing. And in fact, in May, it was interesting. Japan was the largest country to dump U.S. debt. And Japan has always actually been our number one holder of U.S. debt or treasury bills or whatever. China being second, UK being third. And UK is now actively de-dollarizing or dumping debt as well. What are your thoughts about cryptocurrency? Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, is promoting it. I am not a fan of cryptocurrency, and the reason is because it's just another fiat sort of currency, or a fiat sort of thing. And I equate it, and this kind of sounds kind of silly, but remember the baby beanie baby boom? Everybody's buying beanie babies and all this other stuff and going crazy and everything like that. Well, today beanie babies have severely dropped in price, and there's no longer any interest. And I'm kind of looking at that with cryptocurrency as well. I mean, there's over, gosh, I want to say there's over 400 or 500 different cryptocurrencies out right now, and it's basically vapor. And so there's times it goes up, times it go down, and things. Bitcoin and some of the other more what's it, lithium or mithium or Ethereum, so some of the other stronger cryptocurrencies, but still, I'm hesitant about cryptocurrency because I think once, and I hate saying this, once CBDC starts coming into play and everything like that, I think cryptos are going to kind of fade and go away. So I'm not a fan of crypto, mainly because it's not a tangible asset. You can't hold it in your hand, where gold, silver, platinum, palladium, other precious metals, copper, and so forth are, very tangible assets. And then trading and everything, there's a lot of people that actively have wallets and everything like that, but it's still not in the norm. You can't go down to your farmer's market and say, hey, do you take crypto? And if you do take crypto, what kind? Dogcoin, Bitcoin, what? So I'm it's not severely used. It's more used out there in buying and trading and playing the stock market and that sort of situation. So I'm not a fan of cryptocurrency at all. I've had some, I've done it. It's been nice and fun and everything, but there's just too much volatility involved with crypto, in my opinion. So again, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a financial person or anything like that. I feel the same. He's using Mhor on his platform. Yeah, but I'd rather deal in hard, tangible assets, versus something that's vaporware. And because with there have been some crypto issues, where some crypto coin has come out, it shot up in price, all those people made $1 bazillion, and then everybody else who's finally catching up loses out because the cryptocurrency dies. And so I'm not, it's just too much of a gamble to me. And if you want to play with it and have that and play with it in that market, have a dedicated source of income for that, and realize that, hey, you're betting with money that you're probably going to lose. So if you want to dedicate a couple thousand to crypto and do that, just realize that you're betting with money that you're probably going to lose, and don't think about it as something that you're going to gain and everything. You may get lucky and stuff, and that's what I just see it as. It's legalized gambling in a sense. But are going to be able to stop this rollout of digital currency? It depends. I know that several presidential candidates have come out and said that they are not going to support a CBDC. Ron DeSantis has come out and said they're not supporting it. Trump has come out and said he's not supporting it. Kennedy has come out and said he's not supporting it. And so a lot of the main, front runners are saying that they're not supporting it, and can't stop it, but try to avoid using it. Totally agree, Grinch. And it will probably come no matter what. Even that. Can it be slowed down? Yes, I'm hoping it'll be slowed down. But if the current administration retains the office and everything, then it's probably going to stay. And it's if it's under a friendly administration, I think it'll be slowed down and curtailed. Whereas if it's not under a friendly administration like the current one, then we're probably going to be seeing more drastic uses and leverage and putting people under the thumb because of it. So eventually, yeah, people are going to have to use it and everything like that. And yeah, it's a very scary situation. But I have noticed that in China, where they do have a CBDC, it is still not being accepted by 50-60% of the population. And then I want to say Nigeria also implemented a CBDC, and the Nigerian population just completely said no and things. So it's something. It's people realize that it's the last freedom, and so once CBDC does come into play, then a mass amount of freedoms are going to disappear. Sherry, what did you say again? I just saw it and it disappeared, or that last message. But what are the? I wish I would be able to. Can I? No, I can't. But see the comments here. But they come up and then they disappear, and I can't see them anymore. So whoever asked that very last question, do me a favor, ask something again so I can see the question again. But I think you were saying, what are your strategies or something to not be using it? My strategies are going to be tangible assets, gold, silver, copper, any other sort of tangible asset. Is there a strategy we can employ to avoid it? Strategy to avoid CBDC? I think what you can do is skirt around, because no matter what, when there is some sort of situation like that taking place, black markets always pop up. And so black markets will always be there and everything. Now, if you're going to have to do anything government wise, pay taxes, get your Social Security, health benefits, whatever it is like that, then you're probably going to be forced to use CBDC. But in other goods, services, local businesses, and everything, then I think more and more people are going to start moving to tangible assets. Again, it's like gold, silver. I showed you last week these copper rounds. Start getting these copper rounds. They're sitting around 350, 450 each, and they're usually 1 ounce of copper. And copper prices have been going up, and I think those will be a good little tangible asset. Say you need a dozen eggs. Well, 1 or 2 copper rounds might get you a dozen eggs, or so forth and so on. But no matter what, black markets always pop up where there's a need. Then that will always happen. And I don't want to say use the word black market, but farmers markets. Usually when people, these sort of situations take place, they usually will congregate at the farmers markets. And example is, for example, is it Argentina, Venezuela? I think it's Argentina. No, Venezuela. Venezuela now have basically created their own underground currency. And you can look them up. They're like these blue dollar bills. And they look like a dollar, but they're all blue. And what you do is you go to the farmer's market, trade in your tangible asset, get these blue pieces of paper, and then that's what you use to buy, sell, and trade with at these markets. And copper wire on our antenna. Yes, it's true. But other good things to do is, and I learned this from another gentleman that I knew who lived through the Argentinian D-dollar or financial collapse, is that he started purchasing silver and gold necklaces and with like chains. And so go in and you can clip off, a link of gold or a couple links of silver and things like that. So start looking into those sort of things. Start checking out estate sales. Start checking out antique shops. Even maybe buy them from stores and stuff like that. But gold chains, silver chains are a good thing, and it's actually something that was used quite a lot in the 1700s. Is gold links. You see a lot of pirates wearing gold earrings and everything like that. A lot of people would wear their wealth with them, and so they would have a tangible asset on them. High premiums on jewelry, definitely. And so I think that would be another tangible asset that'd be worth looking into. And you can find 14 karat, 24 karat gold chains rather easily, and check them out. And even Walmart sells them. And those might be some good investments, so that you do have some gold links. And you carry around a pair of nail clippers, clip off a couple links, and you pay for your goods and services. But in Venezuela, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the ways that they are, using gold and silver to barter and trade goods right now. People are shaving off gold coins or using links or whatever to buy haircuts, to buy food. 1 ounce of silver will buy a whole month's worth of groceries in Venezuela right now. And so where there is situations like this, then the barter system will become stronger. Alcohol, definitely a big one. Get these little airplane bottles. You've seen them. They, on the little booze bottles that airplanes have. You can go to almost any liquor store and buy those. Those are a great tangible asset. Say, hey, I've got 5 little Jack Daniel bottles. I'll give you, 1 bottle for a dozen eggs. So those are a good little tangible asset as well. And so, but these are things that we need to start thinking about here, because as goods and services start to disappear, as CBDC starts coming into play, and all these other factors, being prepared to get this stuff, to live still a normalcy, is what is very important. That's what we as preppers try to do, is maintain normalcy during hard times. And those of us who have prepared, those of us who have done well and stocked up and have our tangible assets and everything like that, are going to weather the storm. And so that's the key. Now the other thing is how long is the storm going to last? And we may be looking at 10 years here, folks, and historically that is what is normally have taken place and everything. But the more that we are able to put ourselves ahead of the curve and ahead of that wave of masses, the better. So I really highly recommend doing these things. With Surge going out of business and Yellow going out of business, the shelves are going to start showing bare probably within 30 to 45 days. And, be interested to see if another trucking company goes under. And if it does, that's going to shorten that supply chain time frame even more. And then start stocking up on your food. If you like rice, get it. If you need flour, get it. Get some of these other things now while you can, while prices are still low and availability is still there. So, but wanted to come in here, chat a little bit about that. I just saw this morning that Surge is filing bankruptcy, and that has now just added to the pressure of the supply chain. And those of us who are staying in the know is going to be the ones who are going to be able to weather the storm in our arcs. So that's everything, folks. Raymond Mhor, Kilt the Prepper. Coffee with Ray. We'll see you. Goodbye. God bless. And Kilt on.